Hi, Kerry here. Heard the word recession used on Squawk Box several times this morning and got me to thinking that usually if a recession comes, some opportunities come along with it, and we need to look at them. And so I wanted to put this up. This was my target price that I suggest for my big six: Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, and Apple. And then I include Tesla in there because I might be interested in Tesla at a substantially discounted price, as you see, about $415 a share. Don't mean that as an insult. That's just because I don't like their China exposure, and I don't like that car companies just historically don't make any money. But you can see Facebook has actually fallen 3% below my target price, and some of the others are getting relatively close. Microsoft, Google, and Apple. So I think that you want to look at these as buying opportunities, but and I think that's obvious. So because again, the market is driven by change, and change is results in some companies adapting well to it and others not. And I think one of the companies that will adapt extremely well to it will be that of Amazon. And let's see, on Amazon, I have a target price of 2,450, and it's currently at 2,909. I don't know that it'll go down that far. I don't actually know that I would say it will take that big of a dip for me to buy it, because something has changed that I saw that I really liked, and I think it makes me even more attracted to Amazon, and I want to share that with you. It all wraps around their 20-to-1 split. Not that that makes any difference whatsoever in the value of the company. It's a cosmetic drop of the price from rounded off to $3,000 a share down to $150 a share. But I think there are some implications in there that we need to consider and keep a real strong watch on Amazon. And if it does, for some reason, probably relative to some reaction to what Putin is doing in Ukraine or what Powell might do with interest rates, if we see that dip, and if, like Squawk Box says, we do have a recession, Amazon has given me 1.6 million reasons why I think it's going to be a good buy for the future. So let's get this financial advice thing out of the way, and then let's talk specific about Amazon and why I think you should be considering it as a buy.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
My normal procedure is that I go to Seeking Alpha and Trading Views to give me more information so that I can make a good investment decision. I would hope that's what you use me for, is an opinion, not as advice, but as an opinion. So let me share with you then how I use Seeking Alpha first, and then I use Trading Views to gather more information to help me make a good investment decision. As is normal when I'm considering buying a stock, one of the first things I do is go to Seeking Alpha, because what I'm seeking is other people's opinion, and in hopes that maybe I'll find something that I didn't consider. The first thing I see on Seeking Alpha is year to date, it's down, Amazon's down 5.5%, and it's had a high, it looks like, of roughly $3,696, and it's currently down at $2,910. The article I want to read is that which is speaking to its current split, and it's interesting. I find an article that written by Beam Contour Capital, and it's basically saying that this is the last of the big tech stocks that I want to own. And it highlights the 20-to-1 split and the $10 billion buyback. But basically what he's saying is that he believes that we're going into a recession, and there are some of the high-flying stocks such as Tesla, Home Depot, and Lowe's who are not going to fare well relative to recession in higher interest rates and the environment of inflation. So he's backing out of those stocks which he thinks are not going to serve well in a recession. But he basically says that with Amazon being the company that it is and providing so much product at very convenient prices and competitive prices, Amazon is one that he wants to continue to hold. So that's encouraging for me. If I then go to my TradingView chart on Amazon, I can see from its high back in July of 2021, it's on sale for about 23% off from its high. And if I then consider, if I buy into the theory that we are going into a recession, I would say in a slowdown or a cutback in consumption, I would go back and look at what happened in March of 20 when the coronavirus hit. It basically put everybody in home and stopped buying retail and ended up in buying more online, and gave Amazon the biggest boost it's probably ever seen in its history. So I'm not worried about Amazon on a yearly basis. And certainly, since I invest more for a 5 to 10 year time horizon, I see this as an opportunity for Amazon to do more business. But more importantly, I like the 1.6 million reasons why I think Amazon will go up, and that's what I want to get into right now. Okay. There's two other sources of information I want to share with you relative to what I see going on in Amazon. I have noticed some commercials that Amazon is doing that are very employee focused, and that has warmed my heart, but I did not totally understand the implications and how that relates to the 20-to-1 stock split. So I'd like to start with just a clip of a commercial that you may have seen. They title the commercial "Meet the Luckiest Man in Tracy, California."
The job I had before Amazon, that job had no benefits. Not having benefits, it can be kind of crazy. They start that day that you sign on the dotted line. It had been since I got off my parents' insurance that I had insurance. When I found out that I had cancer, that scared me. That scared me. If I didn't have these benefits, who knows if I would still be here right now and be able to have my whole family on that plan. It was a great feeling as a father, as a husband. I feel like I'm the luckiest man in Tracy.
Okay, that's really heartwarming in that we see that here's a gentleman who has been able to lift himself up and actually save his life because he had access to health insurance when he needed it. And that's the message that Amazon is delivering. And I think what I realized connecting the dots when I saw the 20-to-1 split, and I realized that Amazon has 1.6 million employees around the world. And Amazon wants to motivate those employees. And certainly one of the ways they motivate those employees is to give them health insurance, benefits, to help them educate themselves, even if it means they move on to better jobs. But what they're doing here, and why this split is important, is they will use their stock as a means of of giving employees an incentive to work harder and be better employees. We're dealing here in Birmingham We have two distribution centers. One just opened in Birmingham, and then we had another one that's been down in Bessemer for some time. And for the last 2 years, the union has been trying to get in there. So what I see this split is that Amazon will offer its employees an incentive as a bonus for stock. So they may say, if you, for the next quarter, never miss a day, we'll give you a share of stock. If you hit your quotas, we'll give you a share of stock. And so what in essence they're doing, they're changing their employees from employees to shareholders. If you own part of something, you're going to take better care of it. You're going to be more, you're going to want to work harder for the company that you own rather than the company that you work for. Someone told me at one time, and I thought it was very, very right. If you rent a car, how often do you take it and get it washed and get it vacuumed out? You don't. If you rent a house, do you take as good a care of it as if you own it? No. So the idea of ownership makes you a better employee. And so that's what Amazon has in mind. I thought it was interesting, too. A lot of commentators kind of naysayed the buyback of $10 billion of stock and said, with Amazon's market cap, that's just not all that much. But what they failed to do was to connect the dots. Where is Amazon going to get these shares that they're actually going to give to their employees to make them more loyal to Amazon? Well, they're going to buy them back from you. Okay, and then give them to their employees. So I can surmise then that over the next so many years, Amazon plans to give $10 billion worth of shares to their employees to make them better employees. Now, if they're better employees and because of their ownership, and I own Amazon stock, that's better for me. Okay, because if they work harder to get my delivery to me in 48 hours or 24 hours or 2 hours, then I'm a happier customer and I become a wealthier stockholder. Because as that company becomes more efficient because their employees work harder to be efficient, I benefit as a stockholder. Now, the other thing I think that needs to be considered is that we are going into a period of change. Vladimir is not one of our favorite people, but Vladimir has really emphasized the importance of shutting down this global economy and becoming less dependent on other countries for the things that we need. I just am flabbergasted that I hear that we buy 4 to 5% of our oil from Russia. Really? Why? Why? We have the capability of buying, of manufacturing and producing all the oil we need right here in the United States. We all know our dependence on oil over the next 10 years will diminish dramatically. So let's bite the bullet, okay, Joe, and take care of ourselves. Not so much I have some sympathy for the Russian people because the Russian people are drinking the Kool-Aid, the same Kool-Aid that we as Americans drank during Vietnam. We thought that burning villages and killing people in Vietnam was justified, much as the Russian people have been convinced that the Ukrainians run a Nazi operation, and the Ukrainian people are celebrating that the Russians are coming. The Russians are coming, hooray, hooray. We drank the Kool-Aid in Vietnam, and then we drank it again in Iraq. as George W. Bush marched through Iraq and killed 450 million people, we said, okay, that's for the betterment of the world because they have weapons of mass destruction. No, they didn't. So let's don't beat up on Vladimir, although he is an evil person, but this is nothing new. We have a disease in this world. It's called greed. It's called greed. If you have something I want, I'm just going to come and take it. It's got to be stopped. And there's only two people who can stop it. And that's you and me. We have to say, no, this can't go on. This is our world. It's not Vladimir's. It's not George W.'s. It's not Lyndon B.'s. It's our world. And we need to take control of it. Companies like this warms my heart that I see Amazon saying, we want to convert you from employees to owners. That's what we have to do here in our civilization. We have to become owners of the world we live in. And we have to take control as people with kindness. And we have to put the greed aside. Okay, this channel's all about. It's not about me. It's not about stock. It's about sharing knowledge, sharing opinions, and making the world a better place for us all to live in. If you'd like to learn more about that, you can subscribe to or buy my book. It's in about the power of a tribe, or you can come to Best of Us Investors, give me your name and your email address, and get on this wagon or this train. Let's call it a train. And let's change this world and make it a better place for everybody to live in. All right? Amazon's on the right track. I'm going to be a buyer. I don't know if it'll get down to $2,450, but I like what you're doing there. Talk to you again soon.